Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. There was a video clip that was widely shared by Imām Abdul-Hakeem from the northern part of Norway, from the Arctic. The Arctic, my dear brothers and sisters, is any area of the northern hemisphere that is above latitude of 66. And normally at this time of the year, the discussion comes regarding how to pray, when to pray, etc. Why is this? What is specific about the Arctic, which is 66 latitude and above? At that point, there will be one day on 66 exactly, or 66.33 degree. At that point, there will be one day in the winter and one day in the summertime where it is either 24 hours dark or 24 hours light. And then this increases. So the number of days where it is completely dark will increase if we go to higher latitude, like for example in Norway where I visited Tromsø, it is 69. So they have maybe a month or maybe almost 2 months complete dark and 2 months complete light. So the discussion comes is how to fast and when to pray. And I visited Tromsø, as I said, northern of Norway a few years ago to discuss this matter. There was a conference organized by Brother Ibrahim there. He is the main committee member in one of their masajid. Actually, they have two masjids at that time, and he is the main person there to discuss the prayer time. So I saw the situation. Okay, actually I landed on 12th of January, and the sun has not started yet to appear. Maybe it was, as we said, that it has been away for almost 2 months. So Imām Abdul-Hakeem, Jazahullahu khairan, he quoted a fatwa, and this is my comment here. Okay, although I don't like to comment on fatwas in this particular way, I do apologize, but I found myself compelled, obliged to give some comments on the fatwa that he quoted. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ لَتُبَيِّنُنَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ. From this perspective, I found that I am obliged to comment on the fatwa that he quoted regarding how to fast. So he said that they had a fatwa. He said, Jazakallah khairan, that there are a few fatwas regarding how to fast, because in summertime, which is these days, the sun does not disappear. And he showed us the sun in the middle of the night. Okay, it is called the middle night sun. And one brother did show me how the sun comes, okay, in Tromsø. And he said at 12 o'clock in the middle of the night, you see the sun above the horizon, above the sea. And then it goes into a circle like this, into a big journey, okay? It will go, and it will become behind you, okay? And which is Dhuhr time, and then it will go down. You might think that it is going to set, but then it will go up again. And I remember my Shaykh Abdullah bin Aqil, he visited one of the cities, I don't remember which city exactly, and he witnessed this during summertime. And there was a funny story. We don't have time to disclose that story. Anyway, I have written a lot about this, and I spoke about it a lot. And that's why I found that I am obliged to speak about it. And I do apologize to Imām Abdul-Hakeem for this comment, for this way of commenting on his video or on other people's fatwas. Okay, but anyway, I do apologize in advance. See, Imām Abdul-Hakeem quoted a fatwa from Azhar that they can follow Makkah timing. First of all, I doubt that this is an official fatwa of al-Azhar. In fact, I doubt that this is an official fatwa of any fatwa council. Maybe some individuals, yes. When I was there in Tromsø, they quoted me a particular scholar from Saudi Arabia who gave them the fatwa that they can follow Makkah. Yeah, but a council, I doubt it, because when a council wants to issue a fatwa like this, the members, they will look at it deeply, they will search, they will discuss it with other people of knowledge, maybe with other experts, astronomers, etc., and they will come up with a conclusion that such fatwa is not right. They will come up with maybe a fatwas that might be mentioned earlier, but none of the early scholars have quoted or accepted this, that they use Mecca as a reference point in terms of the prayer timing or fasting timing. And as I said, I doubt that this was an official fatwa by the Azhar committee or any other council. Maybe by individuals. Okay, this is one thing. The other thing, we all know that not any fatwa or not any ijtihadi matter, even if the matter is ijtihadi, can be accepted. Yes? If the matter is an ijtihadi matter, there will be some views that can be accepted, okay, either of them, and some views that are rejected, even if the matter is ijtihadi, okay? This is one thing, because the ijtihad, as you know, has basis, okay, and the scholars have discussed this, and it is well known anyway. The other thing is that this fatwa is completely wrong. Okay, again, the fatwa that was given to people who live above the Arctic in higher latitude in the northern hemisphere, or maybe southern hemisphere, to follow Mecca in their prior times or in fasting is completely wrong. Okay, it's not an ijtihad that can be accepted. No. Why it is wrong? First of all, it has no basis. Yeah, what is the basis to use Mecca? We understand that if you use the nearest location, yes, we understand that there is kind of qiyas, but to use Mecca as a qiyas, no, there is no basis for that whatsoever. Mecca al-Qura, yes, but that is from another perspective, not to use it as a reference point for your prayer time or for your fasting time. The other thing is, apart from the fact that there is no basis for that, this fatwa is completely inconsistent with many realities, and hence it is completely wrong. Okay, I'll just mention maybe 2 or 3 points of the inconsistency or the inconsistency that this fatwa would create. Okay, now the people who live in above the Arctic, like the city that I visited, Tromsø, 59, or maybe there is another city called Bodo in northern of Norway. They, it is 67 latitude, they will follow Mecca, okay, which they are going to fast maybe for 16 hours these days. But what about the people who just live below the Arctic? Maybe they live on latitude of 65, which means that they see long days for 22 hours or 23 hours. Those people, obviously the fatwa does not include them, so they have to fast for 22 hours or 23 hours. And how this inconsistency takes place, so those people will be fasting for 22 hours or 23 hours, or maybe more than 23 hours and a half. And then if we go a little bit up where the sun appears all the time, yeah, above the Arctic, then people will have an easier fasting, and they will be fasting for 16 hours. It cannot be, because we all know that the north we go, the more hours we fast. This is consistency. And in Sharia, as Ibn al-Qayyim and others confirmed that Sharia does not combine between different things, and does not differentiate between similar things. So in Sharia there is consistency. Okay, so this is one thing. The other inconsistency that is created by this fatwa is, imagine today the sun disappears for maybe a few minutes before it comes to the point where the sun appears all the time. Obviously, this is the case because we have winter and then we move towards summer. At one point, the sun and there will be day and light, okay, the day and night, and then after some time, okay, there will be consistent daylight. Now, at that point, just one day before, we will be fasting for 23 hours plus. And then immediately, the day after that, we will shorten our fasting to 16 hours. This is incorrect, okay? Impossible. So inconsistency in terms of location and inconsistency in terms of days as well. Now, the third reason why this fatwa is completely wrong is that, okay, if we go for this ijtihad, we will be changing the actual timing for salah, okay? Now, yes, it is true that the Maghrib timing will be disturbed, the Isha timing will be disturbed, and the Fajr timing will be disturbed. But the Dhuhr timing and the Asr timing will not be disturbed because the Dhuhr time starts when the zenith takes place and the sun will be behind us, but it will be in the middle of the sky. And the Asr, either the Mithil or Mithlain, it will be also distinguished. Dhuhr time will be 1 o'clock plus, yeah, in those areas, or maybe 2 o'clock. It depends on summer timing, which timing they follow. But in Mecca, it will be 12 something, okay? Asr time might be around 5 or 6 o'clock there, yeah? And this will be maybe the Maghrib timing according to Mecca. So we will miss the Salah timing around. It will be missed around. The Dhuhr timing and the Asr timing. And this is quite dangerous, my dear respected brothers and sisters. Let alone other problems that will be created due to this fatwa. So this fatwa is not allowed for you, after knowing this, my dear brothers and sisters who live there, to fast and pray according to this fatwa. Now, what are the other possible fatwas? Quickly, okay. The very common fatwa is the one that is given by many councils. They say that you have to go to the nearest, to adopt the timings of the nearest, they say city, okay, or balad. But this is incorrect. They should have said the nearest location, not city, okay? There is a difference between city, the nearest city, and to adopt the timings of the nearest city and to adopt the timings of the nearest place. The nearest place, which can be just a few miles away. So if you do not see the sun here, you go move little bit until you see it. If you don't see the Fajr here, you move little bit until you see it. You don't jump into the nearest city, which can be few hundred kilometers away. Yeah? So this is a misunderstanding. This is one thing. Now, if we go for the fatwa which says that you have to adopt the times of the nearest location, which will be maybe a few kilometers away, or 1 kilometer or less than that. If we go for that fatwa, then during summer, in that location, which is nearest to where the sun does not disappear for 24 hours, the sun will disappear for just a few minutes, maybe 8 minutes or something like this. Okay? Now, their night will be 8 minutes, something like that. Is this the fatwa? So people should fast for almost 24 hours and just eat and drink for 8 minutes, okay? No, this is not true, okay? This is, again, is not acceptable fatwa. In fact, those 8 minutes where there is a night, I mean the sun disappears, actually it is not a night, because the rays of the sun will be all the time above the horizon, and maybe you need to half it in order to check, okay, the time after Fajr and the time before Fajr, so you will end up with 4 minutes, okay? The I don't want to go into the details of that, but even that, okay, this makes it even more difficult. So those councils who issued this fatwa, actually, they did not consult experts, and they did not visit those places to see the reality of the situation there. Now, what is the fatwa? This is my own fatwa. None of the councils have adopted this fatwa. I'm presenting it to some councils, and please do present it in front of councils. The fatwa, briefly, I gave fatwa to some people there in Iceland, in Finland, in north of Sweden, north of Norway, and so on, to have something called the shortest Shar'i night. Okay? The shortest Shar'i night. In Sharia, according to Sharia, yeah, we make adhan for Maghrib at night. Then we pray Maghrib at night. Then we break our fast, okay, at night. Yeah? And then we make adhan of Isha at night. And then we pray Isha at night, okay? And we pray the Sunnah of Isha at night. And it should be recommended, or it should be, all of this should be done before the middle of the night. I calculated the time that is needed to make adhan of Maghrib, pray the Salah of Maghrib, pray Sunnah of Maghrib, make your futur, okay, have a meal, and then make adhan of Isha, pray the Sunnah of Isha, okay. It will take around 1 hour, and multiplied by 2, because this should take place in half of the night. Then the Shar'i night should be 2 hours minimum, okay. So I calculated it to be like this, around 2 hours. And therefore, any place where they fast more than 22 hours, I strongly believe that they should stop at 22 hours. Okay, maximum they can fast is 22 hours. And then 2 hours for them, okay, to perform Maghrib and to eat and to perform Isha, and then to pray basic Taraweeh, and maybe to have something before the second part of the night. Okay, now some people might say, but in their area the sun disappears. If the sun disappears, again, that doesn't mean that it is the night time, because you will see the rays of the sun all the time. Yeah? And if you want to half it in order to say that the sun now is rising up, so that, okay, before that is the middle of the night, is the night, yeah, maybe you can do that, and you will end up with having maybe a night of 1 hour or so. But this is the fatwa that I am giving, and then you can adjust the timings accordingly. So the night is 2 hours, the day is 22 hours, adjust the time of Maghrib, Isha and Fajr, and the time of Dhuhr, time of Asr, they are clear, they have clear signs. Jazakumullah khairan. I can explain further, but this should be enough, inshallah. You can contact me if you want me to help you to set up the prayer times or for further details. My email is knownhaitham1234@hotmail.com. I live in London, and I wrote about this a lot. You can Google my name and you can get hold of me whenever you want. Jazakumullahu khaira. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Haitham al-Haddad, and this is Ramadan, 16th of Ramadan 1440, and this is today is the 21st of May 2019. Jazakumullahu khaira. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.